Jamaica, how did we miss this? It's business as usual in a parliament for Donovan Williams. No investigation in a where Rosie say.
Williams, Member Williams.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chair. Good morning again to the representatives from the FSC and the Ministry of Finance. Just 2 or 3 questions popped up. In terms of these adjustments, I'm not certain there is any requirement to consult, but what's the posture of the industry in relation to these increases, and has there been consultation with the industry in arriving at these fees, the increases? That's one.
As you asked them. Thank you.
So, if I'm to understand you correctly, in a nutshell, it would be your opinion, based on your experience and your positioning, that the industry, you're not getting any pushback, so to speak. You, in relation to these fees, you anticipate, you have consulted, you're in the middle, you're in the mix, so you're not anticipating any pushback. Meaning, when we leave here today, we don't see a headline that insurance industry laments increase in fees.
Has been the topic of headlines. I'm aware of headlines can go, so I can't say that that won't happen.
And that, Mr. Chair, with your indulgence, and that leads me to another question. So how have you been able to cope with this deficit of, correct me if I'm wrong, 262.5 million? I think that was pointed out earlier as the operating deficit for the last period, last year, financial year, just to be safe.
When you're asked a question that you are prepared for, right? When your team has said, ensure you answer the question, right?
So you understand the question?
Yes.
With this deficit, how have you been able to fill the gap?
Yeah.
How have you been able to cope? Because I think it's an important question for the industry as well, for the industry, not only for the regulators, for the industry, as to provide some justification for your increase today, proposal or amendment for increase.
So we have been using the reserves, and as you, even from a personal standpoint, tell me what happens when you continue to use your reserves and you don't have enough income. I think you can see the trajectory, but that's what's been happening in summary. So we have delayed, we have delayed IT systems, have delayed employment, and we have gone into the reserves. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Member. I want to welcome Member Morris to the meeting of the Regulations Committee. And before we continue, we would have skipped item 5 on the agenda. We now move back to item 5 for the confirmation. Member Morris.
Looking at page, thank you very much, sir. I'm looking at page 2 of the document before me, which is captioned the 20th schedule, fees in Jamaica. Do you have that page? Page 2, 20th schedule. So these rates here, just correct me if I'm wrong, these are the proposed rates for example, registration. Correct? These are the proposed new rates. Yes. So, would you be in a position to, for example, highlight, some examples here of increases, and give us a comparative approach?
Sure, I'll ask Aisha to assist me in that regard.
Yeah, thank you. It's my parting shot, if I may, Chair, and that is, after 18 years operating on a, tight operating budget or expenses, and now having dipped into reserves, it is my view, Mr. Chair, that the increases are warranted at this juncture. My only concern is that we are coming off, we have just passed through one of the most devastating weather event to have hit Jamaica. And we know in these circumstances, persons are resistant to increases. But
So the timing.
That is a concern. But having listened to the presentation, and if you're operating at a loss of 250 odd million to cover your operating expenses, then an increase of some type is justified.
Keep watching. Jamaican politics is never short on twists.